Hello, this is Randy with Excel for Freelancers, and welcome to the Program VBA Like a Pro training. In this week's training, I'm going to show you how you can program like a pro, quickly, easily, and effectively program VBA with some amazing shortcuts. I can't wait. I've got two incredible applications to show you, so let's get started. All right, thanks so much for joining me today. This is going to be a different training. We're not making an application, but I'm going to give you a sneak peek behind the scenes look on how I create incredible applications and program so fast, so easily. Many of you have requested me to do this video, so it's about time I did it. I use some really amazing applications to help me program fast and effectively. If you've seen any of my trainings before, you have seen how I quickly generate code almost seemingly effortlessly, and by the end of this training you're going to be doing the same. I'm going to show you two effective applications at doing just that. One of them is free, the other one is very cheap but incredibly powerful. So we're going to get started. It's going to be a much quicker training because I don't have that much to cover, so this one is great if you're new to VBA or if you've been programming VBA or you want to save a lot of time, a lot of headache in searching Google. This is the training for you. It's going to allow you to quickly and easily. Let's get into it. The first application that I want to talk about is AutoHotkey. AutoHotkey is something that you've seen me use time and time again. I've mentioned it during my training just briefly, but I've never gone into detail and created a comprehensive training videos on how I use this application to my advantage when I am programming Excel. So I've got a lot to show you. If you want to create your own applications for sale, I've got an incredible program for you. It's called the mentorship program, and inside this program I'm going to show you every facet from concept all the way to cash and everything in between. I'm going to show you how to define your own application to determine exactly what application you should build, for who you should build it, and why. We're going to go through every step, and we're going to go through the design phase where I'm going to show you how to create amazing flowcharts. We're going to go through the scope documentation, and then we're going to go into the development phase and how you can develop applications for your customers or for your audience too. And then we're going to go into the deployment phase where I'm going to show you how to create your own website and sell your applications on the website. I'm going to do all this while creating a comprehensive accounting application, including invoicing, inventory, customer management, vendor management, comprehensive dashboard, and including sharing and sync, along with an incredible email and notification system. So if that sounds like something for you, I'm going to include the mentorship link down below, but you can also access it using myexcelmentor.com if this sounds something for you. All right, let's get started on this week's training. The first application I want to focus on is AutoHotkey. That's AutoHotkey. This is an absolutely free application, and it's not just for Excel, it's really for any purpose. And you can use it to really automate keystrokes or automate programming or automate pretty much anything you do on the computer. It can be automated. It's free. You can download it from AutoHotkey. I've also included a link down below because my link is going to include some code that I've already completed, so I'm going to save you a lot of time. I'll include this application along with my script, and we'll go in what that script means very soon. But my script has already the things that I've programmed in, and of course you can modify that as however you want, and we're going to get into detail on that, but I've included the links down below so you don't have to worry about that. But this is where it comes from. It is a free software called AutoHotkey. So what is it? Once it's downloaded, you're gonna basically install it, and it works for many different computers and types and everything like that. You're gonna get something like this. It's called AutoHotkey setup. You got view changes, view the tutorial, and this is after it's been installed. So you just run it and install it on your computer. This works both for Macs and PCs, I believe, but I have not tested it on a Mac. So basically you have a full tutorial here. When you click on that, it's going to give you a complete tutorial. We're going to go over it, obviously, so there's a lot of documentation on this application. If you so desire, you can read through it. We're going to go over a brief idea of what it is and how you can generate, and basically what it is it'll create an AHK file, AutoHotkey file, and you can create as many of those as you want, and inside that file is those scripts to help you automate that. So what is that? Let's just go over it soon. I'm going to reduce this. So basically, if you have your desktop, once it's installed, you just right click, and then when you find the new option, just go ahead and click new, and you can create something called AutoHotkey script. AutoHotkey script, that's what we're looking for. What that's going to do is going to create a file on your desktop. You can assign it any name. You just want to make sure it's different name than any other script. So we can just call this sample script 1. And once you open it up, it's just basically like a notepad. So then I'm going to right click up and I'm going to click edit script. And what that's going to do is going to create something like this, just a little bit of a script. And now there's tons and tons of shortcuts that you can use, but basically what it does is it automates keystrokes, and you can use control keys or alt keys to automate anything you might do, whether you're launching a program, whether you're simply trying to automate some text that you want to do. You can use it for emails, scripts. I use it a lot for code. So for example, if I put in a double colon here, which is going to be the start of an automatic, and then I want to put in something like hello, how are you? I might want to do double H. You want to use some keystrokes that you wouldn't normally use. So hello, how are you? Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do two things after that. I'm going to save this script, then I'm going to close it out, and what you want to do is run this script and then click compile, run the script. Then it's going to run the script automatically. Now let's pull up the Excel and we can just say, so now when I type in HH, it's automatically going to type in hello, how are you? Very quickly, very easily. There's a lot of things. We can also automate. I've got a description here, symbol. We can use the Windows logo key to automate it. And this is for, there's a description here. We can use the Alt control. So we can use these little scripts inside. It's really, really powerful. So as we generate these little keystrokes, we can automate almost any action in any application, and including, but I use it mostly for Excel, but I use it also for emails. I use it, when I'm generating, some responses on YouTube or something, if they look similar, but I've got a lot of them. So it really helps. It saves me a lot of time, not just in Excel, but throughout, and not just in VBA. So for example, inside of VBA, if we pull up the VBA editor, if you don't have the VBA editor or developers, you can find it under the Visual Basic. If you don't have the developers tab available, of course you can find that in the options and just go into the customize ribbon, and then you can make sure developer is selected there. Alt F11 is also a shortcut that's going to get you there. So let's just say let's just say I want to write in some code. So let's say I want to go on the sheet and I want to write in if not F-I-N-D. Notice how I did that. You see how quickly it came up, because this is a common scroll. Or what about another one? If I say if sheet1.range a1.value equals 1, then, and notice how the end if automatically came up. That's another script. I'm going to show you now. I have more than one script running. Remember, I've got more than one. That means you can have multiple scripts running. This script right here, the one that we just created here, just controls the AH. So what else do I have? What other scripts do I have running? Well, there's another one that I've used, and it's called the VBA accelerator, and that's a really powerful. This is another script that I've created. Notice how it's got a lot more code on it. This particular is going to allow, notice how I said if not, notice the double colons, IFN is going to automate this text, if not text. That's how I did that. What about the if then? Notice that here, there's additional code that says I want to enter then, if then is enter, and then end if. This automates it. So notice we have the colon and the asterisk. That's going to automate that. I'm going to give you this entire script. I'm going to add more to it probably, but notice we also have something that says if when active class, and what this is going to do is really powerful. This makes sure that that script only runs when this VBA editor window is open, so that way we only have it running when we do it. And I've got a lot of them, and I use it even in formulas, like when I use conditional formatting. Maybe you've seen me, if I use a conditional formatting for this, maybe if you'll see here, manage rules, and what if I want to create a new rule? I even use it for formulas. For example, equals mod, right? It's going to automate that. Notice how you can do it even in formulas. So, or you could use it even in index. If you're using an index match, perhaps you could do something like equals index, right? And then you can automate index or match or however you like it. It's super, super powerful tool. There's many different, if you just want to automate text, like you want to automate code like I do, you can just do that. You can just simply write, for example, dim is going to be equal to dim long, and then we can also go left, right? That's going to position the cursor to the left 9 spaces. How would that work? Let's just take a quick look at that so we can see how that would work. So let's say we just have running a sub test here, and what is it? Dim s, right? What's that going to do? Notice how it said dim s string and it moved back. So now we can just say name, s name or something like that as a string automatically. Or we could say, let's say dim R, right? Dim R's range. And so basically what I want to do is I want to move the cursor from the position back, and that's going to allow me to enter it. So we can actually automate the cursor movements back or forward, up or down, using shortcuts. Very, very powerful. So in this particular one, right, notice I just typed in DIMR, DIMR, and then colon. What do I want to happen? I want to write in the words dim, a few spaces, then as range. And after that, I want to move to the left 10 spaces. It's going to move to the left and position the cursor right there. So all I need to do is simply write in the variable, and then we're done. So there's really powerful. I've just done a few lines of code here to help out, but the possibilities are really endless. Notice we also have array. If I write in equals index, we can do that too. Let's take a look at that, and we'll run the script. So this script is called VBA Accelerator. I've just given it that name because that's going to accelerate the VBA. Very powerful. I'm going to include that. AutoHotkey is basically just a way to automate typing, and it's super powerful, especially within VBA. So I wanted to make sure that you were able to understand that it's free software. I'm going to include the links down below. There's a lot of text. Let's just go over some of the possibilities that we can see how. And you can also use shortcut keys to send keystrokes. For example, let's just go ahead and copy this. Control J is the keystroke here. So we're going to copy this. We're going to paste that right inside our script. So we'll go back into our script here, right click, edit the script, and this is a script. Now we're just going to paste it right in. And we want to do two things. Remember, we want to save that script, save it, and then also we want to reload. You can also run the script here. So that's important. If it says an older script is running, do we want to update it? Yes, we want to update it. And now Control J is automatically going to type in that first script. So Control J, I'll do it again, Control J, so automatically it's going to do that. So obviously you probably wouldn't want to put something like that in VBA. So you can also use keystrokes to automate that, not only typing them, but you can use shortcut keys, Alt, Control, and I've created a whole list of them here for you. So notice we used Control here, so Control J. You can use Shift or Alt, which is the most common, the Windows logo key also, and less than or equal to, a whole host of them here. Lots of combinations that you can do. I'll include that. So that's a great way. And you can go ahead and read through this. We don't need to go through but there's a lot of things you can do with it. It's going to go, this is the one we created already, which are called hot strings, which will allow you to enter multiple characters. Just make sure it's not something you use commonly. So that's a great way to do it. All right, great. I'm glad I got to show you AutoHotkey. I'm going to include that in the description below. The next one I really wanted to show you is called Automate Excel. Now, this is a great add-in that's used in the VBA, and let's go through that now. I'll include the links again down below for this, but let's go ahead. Once you install it, and this is a paid application, there's different prices, and I'll include the links so you can check out all the options, but it is well worth it. I use this to develop all of my applications, at least for when I'm not doing training. When I'm doing training for Excel, I don't want to use it because I want to type out every code. So when you get it, you install it, you just click on the add-in manager here, and you'll see something called Auto Macro here. And you just want to click Unload and click OK. And what that's going to do is going to install multiple menus inside your VBA editor here. And there's tons of features. We couldn't possibly get all through the features in this, but I want to go through some of them. And it's called Automate Excel, and it's really fantastic. So let's just start out. The first thing we can do, there's so much, but some of the things that we can do are basically insert functions. One of the great things that's going to save us a lot of time, for example, let's say you want to create a Word document. You just create a Word document, automatically does it within literally a split second. So if we run that, and notice it says user defined not type zeros, and this means we're missing a library. So if you ever see this, compiler user defined type not defined, it means this is early binding. We're binding this right in the dimension statement. So what do we need to do that? Well, we're going to reset the bugs, go into Tools, References, and we're going to look for the Microsoft Word library. We need a Word library because this Word.application is part of that library. So all we need to do is scroll down, look for the Microsoft Word object library. Any necessary number will do. It's based on your version of Excel. I'm using 2010 right now, but any version. Microsoft Word object library, any number. Click OK. Then if we run it, automatically it's going to create it. No errors are going to be found, and it's going to create that Word document just like this. So now it's created a Word document. It's put it to text in there. Very, very powerful. What else can we do with it? Tons and tons and tons. So let's not save this here. And so also we have, as far as the functions are concerned, we've got copy an Excel range, open an Excel file, open a PowerPoint, early binding and late binding. Remember, the difference is Early binding, we're going to need a PowerPoint reference library. Late binding, we would not need it. We can even send an email. Really great. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you just get out of the current sub when you want to insert, because it's going to insert it wherever you are. So let's say we want to insert an email here. Really, the automation's super fantastic here. Send email. That's going to create a sub, sends email, and all we need to do is just click on the play. It's going to create that email for us, and it's going to attach the application. Now, obviously, we're going to use the active workbook full file name. That's going to put it. See how fast we can create these? I'm super impressed with the way that they did this. Really incredible. We also have the ability to highlight all the blank cells, highlight alternate rows. We've got, really love the file. We can delete files, go through, list all file names in a directory. Again, another powerful thing. Let's get out of that sub and go down here. We can list all the files just by clicking on the functions. The file is just incredible. Unzip files, validate a file name. That's nice. That's something that I use really often. So if we want to make sure if the file name's good, we can use kill. It's going to delete temporary extents file name validated. In this case, we'd also create function, not only sub but function as well. We have the choice here. So what else do we have? Files, formulas, and functions. We can count the number of words. I mean, it's just endless, the possibilities. So workbooks, copy. I mean, I cannot believe the amount of training. You know, this, if you use something like this in your developing application, it should probably cut your development time at least in half just by doing this. And then basically it's like a pieces of a puzzle. You can simply put them together, and just using this automate Excel, pretty powerful application, this auto macro here. We can even do a standard end procedures or standard, so if you're writing a macro and you want to put in the standard end procedure, you can just do this, something like standard start procedure. Often we use screen updating as false. It's working on it, status bar. We want to put in a specific status, or maybe we want to in a standard end procedure, something like this. So just enter the functions and then go all the way to standard end procedure. Is going to end, and if we want all this in the same, we just drag it up here and we can have that in the same. Then we can write our macro in here, but everything's up. And of course we don't want anything. So what if we want to comment out a line? We already have this inside VBA, but we can also comment out, which is really helpful, or uncomment, just the toggle here. We can number our lines here, very helpful. We'll toggle that on and off. We can sort. If we want to sort, we can sort the macros up. We can then reorder them. I really love that. We can even automate the indentation. So for example, let's say we have this width here and we bring this back, it'll automatically indent it properly. So if we click here and then we do the automated indent, it's going to indent it very properly, which is really nice. It's going to make your code look beautiful, extremely easy. We have remove excess line breaks, very nice. Remove excess line breaks for all the code modules. This will do everything. I mean, it's just incredible the amount. We have loops, create a worksheet from a list of names, loop through each character in a string. I mean, it's endless. I mean, there must be hundreds and hundreds of possibilities. We can clear, we can delete all that. And what if we want to create a message box? We can even do that. We can create a message, tons of different types of message boxes. We have input boxes, message boxes, yes, no, simply by running that, and it'll create a question description. We can put it in yes or no. We can create objects, columns, rows, ranges, workbook ranges, current workbook. We know the work. I mean, it's just, the options are endless. Loops here, we can create, there's amazing. So if we want to create a loop and we want to loop through, let's say the cells, or we want to loop through the worksheets or charts, I mean, there's been a lot of time, and this is a really amazing application. But go ahead and click the link down below if this is something you want to look at. It's really impressive. So there's so much more than I can go through this in this training today. But there's even custom codes. We can do add code, delete code, or add a folder. We can even create arrays. There's a simple amount of arrays. Let's say we want to clear a dynamic array, or we can do tables, delete tables, events, creating events such as this workbook. Even after save, it'll create an event after save. This would be obviously in your workbook code. This workbook would go here. And I really like the even if the user form, you can even generate user forms based on this. You can set the font size. Let's say we want to set a custom font size for a user form, and I'll drag that over here. It's going to create a user form. Let's just say we want to create a customer, and we create a customer label, and we want to create maybe a customer field. This is going to quickly generate fields, labels, and user forms. Very easy. We can change the type. User forms, amazing. So let's say we wanted to test user form. We can even change the font size of user forms, change the color. Really, it's super powerful. Just with a few clicks, we can really control what we want to see on the back color, and then we can create like this customer name, customer. This is a sample I was just working with. We have a little sample up here of what it's going to look like. So I'm really impressed with this. We can put in a caption here, variable type, range here, all the types. So it's really powerful. I'm glad I got to show this to you. This is called, again, called Auto Macro. It's a great add-in. So I'll include the links again down below. I'm glad I got to show this to you. I hope this helps you create faster, better applications. I'm also going to include this VBA script for you. This is going to get you started. You can expand on this and you see how I've done it here. Of course, you can create your own, expand on it, and it's really going to help you create faster, better applications in VBA, and that's what I want. Your success is really important to me. This is going to help you on the line. Check out AutoHotkey and Auto Macro from Automate Excel. Fantastic application from Steve over at Automate Excel. Thank you, Steve. All right, great. I'm really glad I got to show this to you. A little bit quicker training than normally because I want to get you started on this right away, so that way I can point you in this direction when you have questions on this. Thanks so much for your subscriptions, likes, shares. I appreciate it all. Next week we'll be back with a brand new application and training. Thank you so much. Have a great week.